Someone is telling you the world is ending today, but he's busy buying stock shares. He's busy building some real estate business. He's busy sending his children to some very prestigious school. In which world? Because you told me the world is ending today. It is so calculated such that every news media you watch, every TV station you tune to, even when you go to church, they tell you, no, you are demon possessed. You are cursed. Your ancestors have cursed you. You must bring offerings so that we can deliver you from some imaginary kind of curses that no one can explain. There used to be hope in church, not anymore. I've noticed that most of the things we see, most of the things we have in our environment, most of the information we consume, the news we watch, the kind of people we see on TV, the ecosystem which has been built around us, I've just noticed that most of these things actually are not really meant to build you as a person. Everything, when you look around, it's like the whole system was built to crush you and bring you down and bring you in a state of hopelessness. I'm saying this because, you look at the political situation in your country. I don't care which country you come from, the greatest nation, the superpower of today, the United States of America. When you look at their political climate, their political system today, everything is doom and gloom.
The American dream is dead.
You will hear the candidate say, if she takes power, it's the end of our democracy. If he takes power, it is the end of the world. This man is a threat to humanity. So, you see now, you sit down and you ask yourself, okay, where is hope? I want you to understand that the anger you have today, the bitterness you have, the rage you have, that constant disappointment, that kind of hopelessness that you have. Every time you go to sleep hoping things will get better, but you wake up and the atmosphere, the mood is that everything actually has gone from bad to worse. So now that feeling you have, let me just shock you. That feeling you have is not by accident. Actually, there are people who are working so hard for you to be in that constant state of despair and hopelessness. So it is so calculated such that every news media you watch, every TV station you tune to, even when you go to church, they tell you, no, you are demon possessed. You are cursed. Your ancestors have cursed you. You must bring offerings so that we can deliver you from some imaginary kind of curses that no one can explain. There used to be hope in church, not anymore. But there's something these people never want you to see. I want you to understand that these fear mongers, these people who are doing fear mongering, these people who are manufacturing this rage, this anger, there's one common denominator. When you look at them at the end of the day, they cash in something. If you look at their bottom line, if you look at their bank accounts, they are always cashing in something. And then you ask yourself, you who's on the road, you who's in despair, you who's throwing stones, you who's insulting other people on social media, you need to ask yourself at the end of the day, how much money is coming in your account? Because like I said, what they don't want you to see is how much money they are bringing in. Someone is telling you the world is ending today, but he's busy buying stock shares. He's busy building some real estate business. He's busy sending his children to some very prestigious school. In which world? Because you told me the world is ending today. So what they don't want you to see, they want you to be in that loop of anger and misery and hopelessness and insults, insulting each other, you beating your brother beating you, rage on the road, rage in the house, you are beating your wife is beating you back, your children are disrespecting you, everything is chaotic for you. But at the end of the day, ask yourself, how much money, how much benefits have you brought in from this anger, from this rage? This is what they don't want you to see. The anger you are feeling, the rage you are feeling, this atmosphere of doom and gloom, this thing that you look and you feel like the world is ending today. You turn in the news, the world is ending. You look in the newspaper, the world is ending. You turn on social media, the world is ending. There's a crime everywhere. The crime has gone up. Inflation has gone up. But at the end of the day, you look at the politicians. You look at the pastors in the church, the fake pastors, because not all pastors are, not all pastors are evil. We have to be very fair. Some of them are very good people and they're doing a very good job. But when you look at these criminals who are perpetuating this hopelessness, there's one common denominator. At the end of the day, they cash in. What they don't want you to see is what they are doing behind the scenes. Interrogate your average politician. Look at how much they are worth. I saw politicians being vetted in Kenya. I was shocked. A politician would come and say, I am worth 1.2 billion, 2.7 billion, 700 million. And you ask yourself, wait a second. This man told me the world was ending. What is he doing with 2.2 billion in a bank account in a world which is ending? In a dead economy, how is he making money? That's the big deal, and that's what they don't want you to see. We have to have our minds, we have to have our act together. Always think about what someone does not want you to see. You will know how to respond to whatever they are saying. But I will tell you where hope is. You know, if you can disconnect for a while, if you can unplug for a while from the madness which is happening on social media, from the insults that are flying on X or Twitter, whatever you call it, if you can just disconnect for a while and step back and then start focusing on what matters for you and your family and your business, if you're a business person, and your future. If you start looking at your immediate problem and concentrate at solving that immediate problem, that problem you have. If you can look at your child, if you have a child, if you can look at your wife, if you have a wife, if you can look at your immediate future, I'm talking about tomorrow, next week, and then you try to focus on how you can make it better for yourself, for your child, for your wife, for your business, for the community that surrounds you. Most of this hopelessness and gloom and doom is going to dissipate. When you are sucked into this, you see when you are cleaning your house and you have a vacuum cleaner and then you are suctioning all over the place. So you end up suctioning even things which are not supposed to be suctioned. And that's what the world system does to us. That's what it does to you. You get sucked and suctioned in things that have nothing to do with you, that have nothing completely to do with you. And then you end up in hopelessness and despair and doom and gloom, which is hovering all over the nation. But if you can unplug, just turn the volume down, switch off the notification from X, switch off the notification from Facebook. Don't watch the news for a couple of days. Concentrate on how you can solve the problem that affects you and your family and your immediate business. You will realize that there is hope actually. If you can unplug and allow the Spirit of God to kind of speak to you, because the Spirit of God talks to everybody. We all have the Holy Spirit. That small voice that comes to you and gives you ideas and gives you hope and gives you light when things look like they're very dark. That is what I call the Spirit of God. And if you can give yourself a chance to listen to that inner person, you will realize that actually the world is not ending tomorrow. You will realize that actually these people we keep hearing, this is a threat to democracy. Actually, this person is inconsequential to you on the immediate. And they suppose, by the way, even these people, whatever they're saying is real. So what does that mean? Does that mean that you have to freeze in space and wait for the world to end? What does that exactly mean? Does it mean that we have to freeze, that we have now to become like robots? Because life goes on, my brother. Look at yourself, interrogate your life, ask yourself, tomorrow, where am I supposed to be? Today, how productive was I in my dealings, in my business? Think about your child, think about your wife, think about your business, think about your immediate community, because this is what these people do not want you to think about. They want you to be in the silo of rumors, conspiracy theories, and doom and gloom and impending calamities, but they never want you to engage your brain in a very constructive way to ask yourself, what really matters to me and my family? Every day strive to bring in something. Every day strive to improve on yourself. Every day strive to come from point A to point B. That's where hope is. Your hope is in you thinking on how you cash in at the end of the day. Your hope is in you knowing how your child will go to school at the beginning of the term. Your hope is you knowing how much your business is going to generate and how much are you going to save for yourself and for your future and the future of those who depend on you. Well, a few thoughts. Please don't mind my glasses because I had some eye problems and I'm trying to minimize the lights, and the place where I'm recording there's too many lights. So I'm not trying to be cool or disrespectful. I'm just trying to be protective for my eyes. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you don't lose hope. I hope you have a mindset of winning and looking beyond the obvious and sieving and sifting through the lies and the grift which is presented by politicians and sometimes even people in church. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a good day. Until we see you next time. Bye-bye.